Hey everyone, welcome inside the Mayo Media Network and happy Sunday to you because it's time for your Sunday Best Bets. Before we dive into the action and the recap from last week, let's go over a few housekeeping notes. We'll make this super quick. Go ahead, like and subscribe to the channel here on YouTube. Leave a comment of your favorite bet or some merch that you want to see over at the MMN. And if you're listening to us on any podcasting platform, go ahead, rate and review and give us 5 stars and leave something nice in the comments below because you never know when Pat Mayo is going to give away $100 to just random reviews on the interwebs. So you want to get a part of that. You want to be a part of that and just be a part of the community. Alrighty, let's do a quick recap. Last week, 4 for 6, not bad. We had the Royals money line plus 1.5 as well. Hit those. Tampa Bay, Carolina under 5.5. Hit that. Dougie Hamilton over 2.5. Could have taken him at 3.5 at some sites as well, and it hit. The Carolina Hurricanes money line missed, and the Aho 2.5 missed. That's 4 for 6 last week and 12 for 16 over the last 2 weeks. We're going to try and keep that up here today. We've got a hockey play for you. We've got a baseball play for you, and we're going to dive in with a couple shot props as well that I think you can cash in on. Let's start on the ice with the Winnipeg Jets and the Montreal Canadiens. The Jets 4-2-0 this year so far. The Canadiens 6-3-0 during the playoffs as well. The series right now 2-0 for Montreal. The Jets can't seem to beat Carey Price. Having a hard time. Last game 1-0 Montreal there. The money line for this one though, plus 115 for the Jets, minus 135 for the Habs. Spread 1.5 obviously for the Canadiens there, and the total 5.5. Now, I'm not going to pick a winner or loser here as an official best bet, but what I am going to pick is the under here, 5.5, under 5.5 at minus 140. When you watch that last game, that just completely solidified that this is what we should expect from these two teams in the playoffs. Connor Hellebuck and Carey Price completely standing on their heads, and it's basically going to just come down to if they can get a shitty goal or a phenomenally executed play. That's the only way I think you're going to beat a lot of these goaltenders, specifically these two. I don't think we're going to see many high-scoring games for the rest of the series between these guys here because Price and Hellebuck just look absolutely locked in. The penalties from Game 1 didn't carry over into Game 2. There were just 3 penalties all game, and I think that close, just well-disciplined play is what we'll see here in Game 3. Like I said, not going to pick a side here. I know Chris Meany wants me to say the Habs at minus 135, but I'm just not going to do it. I will give you some shot props, though. We're going to go with Blake Wheeler over 2.5 shots, and we're going to go with Nikolai Ehlers over 2.5 shots as well. With no Scheifele in the lineup, this offense has to go to other parts completely, and Blake Wheeler has just stepped up in a big way. He's cleared 2.5 shots every single game during the playoffs. If this even bumps up to 3.5, I'll change my best bet and take it at 3.5 as well. I'm recording this right now on Saturday at 6:58, and I just think if this pops up at 3.5, you can go ahead and take it. Ehlers as well, 2.5. If this goes to 3.5, I think both of these will be plus money at 3.5, and I'll take them both confidently. Ehlers has had at least 3 shots on goal each game in the playoffs so far since he's come back. I love it. I think he'll be fine at 2.5, but if you can find a spot for plus money at 3.5, don't be afraid to take that there. So to recap from this game, we're going with the under, and we're going with Ehlers and Wheeler, that's hard to say, with the over in their shot props there. Let's talk about some baseball. Cincinnati Reds taking on the St. Louis Cardinals. Reds 27-29, the Cards 29-30. First pitch 2:15. Reds money line plus 105. Cardinals minus 125. Cardinals ATS 31-28. The Reds ATS 25-31. The total here is 9. Now the only 2 Reds I'm really worried about are Castellanos and Jesse Winker. Shout out to Tyler Naquin as well because he's been doing pretty good batting high in the lineup. Other than that, I love the lineup here for John Gant against the Reds. Gant has been rolling. A 1.6 ERA, giving up just 1 home run all season. St. Louis just destroys lefty pitching. If we're going to talk about offense here, going 6-1 against lefty starters in their last 7 games. I just don't really like Miley here in his second start either for the Reds. He's coming off his second start after coming off the IL. And if there's a pitch count, boy, I cannot wait for the St. Louis Cardinals to get all over this Reds bullpen because statistically and just on an eye test as well, they are the worst in baseball at 5.65 ERA. They're just not great whatsoever. St. Louis has a very pedestrian offense. I'm not going to try and kid anyone on the show, but I think the gap between the pitching here and the batting here is just way too much between these two teams, and I like the value that the money line of -125 brings. I like the value so much that I'm not afraid to take the Cards on the run line either at +150. And just circling back to Gant, 4th lowest ERA among all NL starters who have pitched 40 or more innings this season. Give me Gant over Miley. When I do my baseball picks on this show, a lot of it has to do with pitching and just trying to predict the game flow. And I think Gant can just build upon his last brilliant start and continue to roll against the Reds here. And like I said, the Cards don't have a mind-blowing offense. I mean, Nolan Arenado, if you want to fire him up in DFS, go ahead. But there's nothing that really stands out. Just middle of the pack pretty much in every single category. So we're going to go with the money line here and the -1.5 at +150. So to recap the show, we're going with the under in the Habs and Jets at -140. Wheeler and Ehlers are going over their shot props at 2.5. And then for baseball, Cardinals money line, Cardinals -1.5. We're going to fire all of those up. I hope you have a fantastic Sunday. As for me, I will be going golfing for the next 3 days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, out of office, hitting the golf course. Couldn't be happier. You can find me at Best of Matt if you want to see just how terrible I'm doing on the course as well. And we'll catch you next Sunday.